now. And here to do it, to reveal the scoop, is scoop getter Allison Pearson from the Daily Telegraph. Go on, then.
I've been working on this all day. And then I've had to comb my hair and come and appear here. So a vicar, Reverend Matthew Firth, got in touch with me. He had taken over a church, St Cuthbert's in Darlington, up in the northeast, and he got there and he thought, hang on a minute, there's a lot of adult baptisms going on in this church, and there's a long queue for them, and they're all gentlemen from the Middle East who've had their first asylum claim turned down. And the minute they get the asylum claim turned down, they decide to become a Christian, Patrick, because that counts in the next appeal, as we've seen with Abdul Azidi. You know, if you can say you're a Christian, you're going to be persecuted when you go back to your country of origin. So what Matthew Firth found was he described a conveyor belt of baptisms with asylum seekers abusing the system. And Matthew is a very good man. He's a man of God. And baptism is a sacrament to people who believe in God. It's literally sacrilegious to baptise someone who isn't doesn't want to come to Christ. So it's a huge scandal. He thinks it's going on in most parishes in the country. We could be talking about thousands of asylum seekers basically taking the Church of England for a ride. And a couple of other things Matthew said. Immigration lawyers, the minute these guys...
This is big. But can I just say to everyone, this is a really big bit. Go on.
So the minute the guys were baptised, he said they practically had professional photographers taking pictures of them at the baptism, put the pictures up on their Facebook. I've converted, all singing, all dancing. Next day, email comes from their immigration lawyer saying to Matthew Firth, Vicar, can you please provide evidence of all the amazing Christian work, Mr. Abdul does? He said absolutely not, because he doesn't do it and it's not true. But that would be terribly helpful. He also saw a Muslim guy, a middleman in the church, with his pockets stuffed with money from these asylum seekers. The Muslim man's coming up to the vicar at the door when he's saying goodbye to the parishioners, and he's saying, these need baptising, these need baptising, he needs baptising. So it's an industrial scale use of a Church of England sacred ceremony to play the asylum system. And it's endorsed, tacitly endorsed by the Church of England hierarchy, who don't want to be called out on it at all.
And, as well, Sean, the next step in this must surely be to get in touch or find the firm, the legal firms involved in this and say, hang on a minute, are you seriously just trying to farm? Because they're obviously in on it if they're calling the vicar straight away. I mean, it is a conveyor belt, no?
This is absolutely outrageous. I'm so outraged about this that when I go back to the Lords tomorrow morning, I'll go straight up to the Archbishop of Canterbury and ask him what does he know about this. I will be tabling a written question to government to say what are they doing to look at the validity of the evidence that people are using to challenge the turning down of their visa or whatever it is, because that's absolutely out of order. I'm a practicing Christian, so that rubs me on that level.
Yeah.
But the people of this country, if they're going to accept immigration, which I believe we do need, it only can be done if it's done legally. And people gaming the system in this way means people lose trust with any part of the immigration system. So I'm going to do my little bit to make sure that somebody has a look at this. This is outrageous.
If this has been going on, Justin Welby has to stand down now.
Well, I think that if there's any evidence that the Church know about it and ignored it, then yes, he does. And I think that the Church needs to look at its own guide that Alison's also pointed out in previous articles, which sort of gives a step-by-step guide of how you should necessarily get involved if you're a local parish priest in the appeals process, which seems to me, the assumption, there's an assumption that everybody is illegal is wrong, and assumption that everybody's legal, is also wrong. Can I just say that I'm pleased this week that Yvette Cooper, Labour's Home Affairs spokesperson, has said that she thinks there needs to be a clamping down on the use of religious conversion in the asylum system. So hopefully, when Labour's in government, there will be a clampdown.
But that's not my point here. The point is that suits Yvette Cooper to say that. What needs to be a clamping down on is an abuse of the system.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure you'll find this is just one way it is abuse, and the government needs to look at lawyers, because who is it who told these people how to game the system? It's got to be someone with the legal knowledge to do so.
And Alison, your man's quoted here saying it's a combination of being naive but also turning a blind eye. We have to be discerning. Yeah, fine. So there's a certain level of naivety, a certain level of a blind eye, but all of a sudden you get a phone call as a vicar, as a quote-unquote man of God, from a bloke who says, I represent so-and-so. Do you understand that this guy is going to get deported and killed if you don't vouch for him. And you're, you looking the crucifix in the eye, as it were, at church. What do? Well, you sign off on him, don't you? A lot of pressure coming here.
Yeah, but Jesus didn't say thou shalt be taken for a mug, did he, Patrick? I think that's... I was a Sunday school teacher. I don't remember that amongst the Ten Commandments. I mean, literally, what Matthew Firth is saying is that a lot of these vicars, they're well made up. Oh, they've got lots of converts. They can say, oh, we've got lots of people being baptised. It's nothing to be proud of. And Matthew Firth, who I've got great admiration for because he's very brave to speak out, has said that... It's our home, he said. You offer hospitality to people, but if people come into your home and they make a mess, then it devalues...
It's a bit like, isn't it a bit like the modern equivalent of, remember in the 80s when nice, well-meaning doctors would sign people off onto long-term sick because they felt, sorry for them. It seems that it's basically a scandal like that.
Look, this has been bubbling under the surface. I would like to thank Allison for coming on and, obviously it's out in the Telegraph, so make sure you read all of it in there, but coming on and discussing it here before anybody else will get the chance to as well. Church of England has become a conveyor belt for asylum seeker fake conversions. I think this now, more than any article that we've seen on this subject so far, could be the thing that actually gets some real change done. And we've got Lord Bailey, who's going to storm into the House of Lords tomorrow and bring it with the Archbishop himself. So
Amen.
Justin Welby's going to be cowering.
Watch out, Welby. He might be off. He might be off sick. Anyway, right, look, speaking earlier this week, a spokesperson, is this the same flipping statement again? The Church of England said, no, it is. The case of Abdulaziz is clearly a shocking and distressing incident. Our thoughts and prayers are with all of those affected by it. As we've said, it is the role of the Home Office, not the Church, to vet asylum seekers and judge the merits of their individual cases. Yeah, all right. There's only so many times they can...
It is the job of the church to vet people who come into the church.
Yeah.